What's up, Raven Nation? I'm Tyler Aragao alongside junior Jessica Strack, goalkeeper for the Franklin Pierce women's ice hockey team. And Jess, before we talk any bit about hockey or this past weekend that you guys had, the initiative this year that you and your team have done is a pretty noble one. And I know historically in the past, last year it was autism awareness. This year it's mental health and suicide prevention. Talk about what that's been like for you and your team to take up that cause.
So at the end of last year, we decided to pick a cause, and we were teaming up with the men's team to do it. So we all kind of met and threw it, ideas out who wanted to do what, and the one that stuck out was suicide prevention. And since we always try to pick a more local place to donate to, it's really hard to find a specific place that is only dealing with suicide prevention. So we adapted it a little bit since we were donating to Seacoast Mental Health, that we were doing mental health awareness and suicide prevention. That way we could just cover everything.
And the goal was $10,000. You had all these apparel, t-shirts, pucks, pins, and the support really from not just your team and the men's team, but really from the entire Franklin Pierce community has been pretty outstanding. What's that like to sort of see the entire school galvanized around such a noble cause there?
It's really impressive because we charge $20 a shirt, and for a college student, that's quite a bit of money.
Broke my bank a little bit.
Yeah.
But, worth it. Great cause.
So for students to just willingly say, it's for a good cause, we like the shirts, it's entirely worth it, and to have that many students actually not just donate, but buy the shirts and really come and support us and come to the games and get behind us to help support this cause just shows how much of a community the whole school is.
It was a real terrific atmosphere, both for the men's game on Tuesday and then both of your games this past weekend. And both teams had really sharp-looking jerseys. I was personally a big fan of them. You're auctioning those jerseys off, if I'm not mistaken. Talk about what that's been like and the support you hope to raise through that process.
So we auction the jerseys off every year, and full disclosure, most of us buy our own jerseys because, they're pretty cool. Yeah, I want my own jersey. So it's really cool. The parents really get behind it. They show up to the games, and they've already been so supportive throughout it. And they walk in, they bring siblings, they bring everyone they can to the games to just help and support it. And we raise just quite a bit through donations just at those 3 games between the men's and women's teams.
And donations can still be made, and how can that go about? How can people still help this cause?
At this point, I would say your best bet would be actually to donate straight to Seacoast Mental Health. We're looking to make our big, large donation all at once sometime this week, but I would highly encourage anyone who wants to donate if they haven't had a chance. Seacoast has a website. If you just Google Seacoast Mental Health Center, you can find them, and I believe at the bottom of the website page there's a spot where you can make a donation.
All right, really good stuff from both the men's and the women's hockey team. And now we'll actually start talking a little bit of hockey, and we'll talk maybe not about this past game on Saturday, but as the season in a whole, and really your career as a whole. It's been an interesting ride for you. You're in your junior season, and you're really now starting to take a bit of an elevated role. Obviously the past 2 years being behind Shannon O'Neill, your freshman year, and then Madison Murray last year. Now you're sort of splitting time with Kelly Turney. Talk about what that's been like as your role in the team has grown here a little bit.
I think Coach does a phenomenal job recruiting really good goalies, so you're always competing with someone, whether it was looking up to Shannon as I developed coming into college and realizing it's a whole nother step up that I wasn't necessarily ready for, and then looking to Mads, and now I get to not only work with Kelly and train with her, but also compete with her and have that really great dynamic with her. It's just, I look forward every day to going to the rink and knowing that I have to give it 100% in order to support the team in the way that they need, and be the best I can be during games if I'm the one in net. And to know that if I'm not the one in net, we have another great backstop with Kelly being in there.
And it's interesting because you're one of the very few upperclassmen on this very young women's hockey team, and it's interesting because you have the A on your jersey, and I know that that's something you don't really see with goaltenders. They don't usually have the actual letter stitched on the jersey. What's that meant to you in your junior season, having that on there?
It was a huge vote of confidence for my team because I just try to be there in whatever sense they need, because I want the team to succeed and do incredibly well, and I will always put myself forward in whatever role that they need of me. And I was definitely surprised when they turned around and decided they wanted me to have the A, because it gave me a bit of the confidence to know that I'm doing the right thing, supporting them, and I can continue to be whatever they need me to be so that we can succeed.
All right. Jess, before we let you go here on this afternoon edition of Media Monday, it's a tradition, it's a staple here, but we always ask our athletes a fun fact or a hobby or an interesting little tidbit about you, something that people might not know about Jess Strack.
So it's a little bit nerdy.
It's all right. But we're a fan of that here.
Because of how cold it is up here, I actually illuminate it. It's a little circle thing that I can make hats like and infinity scarves on. So I've made, palm hats and whatnot during my spare time when I have nothing else to do.
Goalies are weird, and I think knitting definitely is on there in the list of weird hobbies. But for any of you that need a hat or a scarf, I think Jess Strack is your woman for that. She's Jess Strack. I'm Tyler Aragao. Thanks for tuning in.